Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac, president of Roby Electric, along with Trent Haston, president and CEO of the Roby family of companies. We are your hosts. We're still here with Brent Beason from B&W Fiberglass. Trent, I was catching a little flack at the break there about how you closed the show better than me, man.
Well, it came from TJ. It did not come from me.
That's our third party, our confidant here.
And then Brent was wondering why the show sounded so good last Sunday.
It's because I wasn't here, Brent.
That's all right. That's okay. Hey, Clemson people got a whole lot of room for error.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, so
go.
why do we keep going back to Clemson over
Modesty.
here? I mean, I give y'all props. I'm a surrogate Clemson fan.
National
I actually
champs.
talked about going to Phoenix with you and Blair Reagan, and I did. We had a blast. I was rooting for the Tigers this year after the Tar Heels were out.
Basketball season, I think you have a pretty good chance. You're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I capitulate in basketball season. You can have that.
Yeah, baseball started, so we're back. We've got something to look forward to. Britt, we were talking about your business and the tremendous growth that you've experienced over the last 25 years. North Carolina-based company. It's really cool. We're talking about how most people have the idea that textiles and furniture have moved out of this area, but you have brought a lot of it back, which we're so appreciative of. I'm looking at your core values here, man. Very cool stuff. I mean, listening to our customers with an ear towards solutions, and I think that was your point, is you're looking to enhance and bring technology to textiles. It's not just weaving yarn, right?
Sure. And so for us, and again, to kind of harp on what you guys were saying, the view that textiles is gone, the guys that stayed around, so it was a very interesting period, when I got into the business in 2001. So NAFTA just passed. There was this mass exodus out of North Carolina. Everybody's heading for the exits. And then soon and followed that was the invasion of Chinese goods and things like that, but there remained a core, and the guys that stayed around were people that continually invested in technology. So the guys that continued to milk their businesses and not to reinvest in their businesses and not to update the equipment and not to become more efficient over those times, they were the first ones to go. I mean, they were the low-hanging fruit that got chopped. The guys that stayed around were true operators that were not as enthused with taking a dividend as more as they were with building something to last. And so that whole listen to our customers is a lot of the guys that came from us in the textile sector specifically were guys that were looking to go to the next level. And they were, traditional cotton producers or any type of fiber that any of the listeners are probably familiar with. And they would call us up and say, well, what do you do with this fiber? I mean, how can we utilize glass? And so a lot of the latter half of the 2000s were us educating customers, and we really wanted to, as a company as a whole, one of my marching orders to our guys and girls is, you need to sponsor if-then thinking with your customers. If we could be able to do that, then we would be able to bring this to the table, or we could solve this problem. And so we really want to create this this partnership between our customers where our value is helping them to dream. Right. And so, and once we help them to dream, then not only are they forever grateful, but we've got a customer for life. And so we set up long-term partnerships with our customers. I'll frankly tell all of them that if you're in it for a prize today, then we're not going to be there tomorrow, because that does nothing for me except for exhaust my resources for a very short period of time. So we invest heavily in our customers and our relationships.
Wow, you sound like you're reading from the Roby family of companies playbook.
I was thinking the same thing.
To be a little frank. I mean, I love that. Number one, we talked a little bit about it earlier. I love that how you buy in that you're a leader in your industry. You give back to the School of Engineering down in Clemson, and you're the executive director of some industry things relative to what BW Fiberglass serves, right?
Sure. Yeah. And so I will invest and give back, because for me, being involved in in the next generation, even though I'm only 36, so I know I'm still a baby. But I feel like that I've at some point in time I've lived a lifetime worth of heartache and headache. And for me,
you raise enough ruckus for it.
Yeah, it's all about bringing the next generation along. And so for me, I'll donate of my time and energy as well, any place that I can go to further anyone's education and hopefully to help people not fall into the same pits and pitfalls that I have.
I mean, it goes with, I'm reading this, number 3 core value, maintaining the passion and enthusiasm for the industry that brought us here.
Yeah.
I mean, being a leader. I mean, something else. I mean, I mentioned Brother Bill, your father, a little earlier. I mean, I talk about my dad a lot on the show, and now that I'm a father of a son, and you have 2 daughters, wonderful children, you have a dog that I named my son after, and we just got a very similar dog to what you have.
They'd be mad if I didn't say hi, Anna Gray and Sadie.
Okay.
So.
Please, my wife said that she was going to let my kids listen to our podcast of last week's show because I was giving a shout out to our new dog, Wiley Pipes, and Piper, my daughter. So, But tell us a little bit about your relationship with your dad. I mean, he's a hard driver, but man, I mean, I think it leads to your success. You understand the value of that leadership and that friendship.
Sure. So it's for anybody in a family business. I think you can you go through phases, and our relationship was quite different than most family businesses because, for all intents and purposes, and my father stated. Goal in life was he was retired and wanted to pass something on to his kids. And so once when you're in a startup together, it becomes very interesting because I had no idea. I knew what work ethic was, but I didn't know. I thought that I was entitled to something, which he was quick to pull down and let me know that I wasn't entitled.
Well, I mean,
to
you were the
anything.
third employee. Come on, what are you entitled to? I mean.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, so. So my father, and the biggest thing is not to give shout outs here, but for my mom basically kept the whole company together.
That's great.
In the early years, because we almost killed each other multiple times a week. And so, my father, he's a no quit guy. He is probably has the most energy. He's 78 years old and still gets after it. I talk to him every morning between 5:30 and 7 o'clock, just depending on what my schedule is. I talk to him every day at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, just depending on to close the day out. He doesn't force anything on me, and he'll tell you that every decision is my decision, but he'll give me his wise counsel and say, it's up to you, you do what you want to do. But he is an extremely driven man. He's a winner. He doesn't like to lose. And his drive is that, and what he's instilled in me is that I will never forget where we came from. And I'll never forget that, I'm a kid from Forest City, North Carolina, that had a father that was the first college-educated person in his family, that and the sacrifice that he made. I mean, it's I think that in order for you to go somewhere in life, you always have to know where you started. And if you forget where you started, then that's the first inkling of the downfall.
No, I agree. And I mean, a funny story, you and I 5 or 6 years ago got to know each other pretty well. Your dad spends a lot of his time up at Lake Lure. My family and I were in the mountains over in Boone, and we cut over, and I told Brent, I said, let's ride over to Lake Lure. I want to see Lake Lure. I had not been too familiar with Lake Lure growing up. And I called Brent, and me and Brent were just getting to know each other pretty well. And I said, hey, man, doesn't your dad live in Lake Lure? And he said, yeah. He said, call my dad up, and he'll have you over. And I called him up. He answered the phone, and we talked for 45 minutes. He was out with some friends. They were going to dinner or something. So we could not come over and crash his party. I have since crashed the party several times and spent a couple evenings at their house. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Your dad and your mom are wonderful people and so accepting. I mean, it's just like my family. But I talked to him for 45 minutes. I called him out of the blue. He didn't even know who I was, other than the little punk you were hanging out with. So I think that's a testament, and that's just a testament to being a good leader and to being what your business is made of, and you can see it through you. So, Brent, how can people get a hold of you?
You guys can check out our website, www.bwfiberglass.com. There's all sorts of contact information there. If you guys want to know more, if you just want to talk, I'm there. And so appreciate this. And again, it's a great thing to be part of a family business, and it doesn't work if you don't have the buy-in of the family. And so, again, just like Trent harps on Reagan, I mean, Blair keeps it all together at home for me. So just a very, very, very fortunate guy. So thanks for having me.
Well, Brent, thanks for being here, man.
Yep.
Till next time, good luck in your business.